Hi, my name is Gwen Mazza, and I am your host of The Art of Transitions. I'd like to thank you for joining us again, and we're actually going to be completing part 2 of a series that we had started last time. And it's on the piece of transitioning through international business and cultures. And my guest, again, is Sergio Maltez. Welcome, Sergio.
Hello, thank you very much.
So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to The Art of Transitions, and this is my guest, Sergio Maltez.
Hello.
We're completing the second piece of transitioning through international businesses and cultures.
Exactly.
Sergio, would you give them a quick clip again of your background so those who may not have seen the first show will get an idea who you are?
All right. I come from Santiago, Chile, and I've been in business arena for over 30 years, working as a manager and executive director of many companies in Chile, of a holding company, especially in the area of tourism, where it's Valle Nevado, the largest ski resort of South America, and a hotel, 5-star hotel called Hotel Plaza San Francisco. And we built a little boutique one called Hotel Le Rêve, French hotel. And also we had to do with financial businesses and real estate. So I was doing that for over 30 years, and then for the past year and a half, I've become a consultant in a company called Summit Consulting, and that we have developed. We have met last January, and that's where I really began putting the knowledge I had in the experience, the expertise, into serving others and being a serving leader, as Gwen puts it very nicely. And that's how we have joined our lives to work together in this consulting business.
Thank you. Thanks for doing that. And if you're interested and you'd like to see part 1, feel free to get connected with us at our website at inspirit7.com, or you can contact PCTV, and they will also get that information to you from Series 1. We're going to pick up the series where we promised last time. And one of the pieces that folks on this show may not have known is that Sergio is actually also a magician. And he brings the magic to consulting. And we wanted to just give you a little taste of that to open it up with. We were going to try and close with it in the first segment, and unfortunately, fortunately, ran out of time. And so today we're going to open with that, and then we're going to talk about the magic of transitioning our work and the way Inspirit works and blending it with Summit Consulting so that it becomes an international process, and folks, no matter where they are in the world, can begin to benefit in different ways.
Absolutely. So let's start with this magic that I talk about, the magic of innovation and how things that normally seem natural, or we sometimes have a problem and we'd say we can't fix it. We can always, there's an explanation and there's a way to do things differently. And I would like you to please, Gwen, I have here 2 bills. Would you please show them, open it up, and I'm going to open the other one.
Okay,
and tell me please, what do you have in your hand?
I have $1, and I need to tell the audience that I saw him do this. We went and toured 2 companies here in the Rochester area yesterday, and I still haven't figured this piece out, so I don't know if I ever will.
Okay, no, please give it to me open so everybody can see. Yeah, like I have it here.
Thank you.
So we have here 2 bills.
Yes.
And we have $6, right? I'm going to show them once from both sides, the 5 and the 1 and the 5. So nothing here, nothing there.
Yes.
2 bills. Would you please give me a hand? The clean one, please. The other one.
Okay.
Okay, this one. Close it up. Okay, and have it like this. Okay, so what do you have in your hand?
$6.
$6. How many bills do you have in your hand?
2.
$2. I'm going to look, nothing in my hand.
Can I want to look up your sleeve. There you go.
And I'm going to open up a little bit your hand, and I'm going to take 1 bill.
Yes.
Excuse me, the other one keep in your hand, okay? I don't know which one I'm going to take. Okay, I'm going to take this one. Close it up. What do I have in my hand?
You have $1.
And what do you have in your hand?
I have the $5.
Okay, so we have 2 bills. Now watch carefully. I'm going to rub it like this. Do you know any special magic word?
Baño.
No, baño, that's a bathroom.
I know, but that's the one that saved me when I was in Chile.
Okay, so we'll say baño. Okay, so I have the, watch carefully now. I have the $1 bill and you have the 5. Okay, I'm going to assume I'm the company, and this is what we do in Spirit Summit Consulting.
Work together.
Working together, we do. I'm the client. Normally, we want to earn more money. So this is how it's done. You close your one hand, you say baño, 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 open your hand, and you got the 1, and the client has the 5.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that
Still
great?
haven't figured that out. That's amazing.
So this is really true magic, and it works in real life too.
Yes, and it does. And it's actually part of the reason that we have had so much fun, you coming up and presenting to
Your group.
to our group of our CEOs and groups in Rochester to help them move forward with innovation through thinking outside the box in a whole nother way. And the magic was a wonderful tool to use to learn about that.
What we did briefly, yes, some easy tricks, let's say, that we sometimes might think, how is that made? It's impossible. And if we really think differently, if we think in a different way, some of them are quite easy. So just if you figure them out, you really can become a magician first, but then you become a magician in your business where you think differently. And really, if you want to go into a market, or if you want to make a new product or a new service, how really by thinking a different way and thinking, looking at the other hand, let's put it that way, you really can come up with solutions that are really easy and so powerful that can really lift your business up.
And one of the choices that we made, and the reason that this show is focused the way it is we were trying to incorporate new magic with different cultures. And so Sergio and I made a decision, and he created an invitation. The piece of the invitation was, why don't you come to South America for a couple of weeks, take a week of vacation, come down and spend a week working with me.
Nothing of vacation.
There was 2 days vacation. I have no regrets. It was very powerful. It was working from the moment we got down there till 10 o'clock most nights, even on the weekends until I said no to Sundays. And then we took some rest and rested. We made a lot of headway, and we met a lot of different companies. One of the most powerful things that I experienced with you was the gift of being able to walk through some of the tools that we have in common and do it differently. Can you speak to a little bit about our adventure coming into Bank of Chile, working with the 8 executives, then taking it to Blue Express, and all the different groups that we met while we were down there?
Well, I would say that the special thing about it was really touching people's heart on seeing themselves and not just focusing on the task, on how they were doing it, because most of them were professionals and they knew exactly what they had to do. The thing is how they did it together, and the focus that you provided us, and which we provide them, right, that we provided to the group, which was really nice, was setting them up in a way that they understand how their interactions affect each other and affect the productivity of the whole group. And by being, the way we did in a group first session, explaining what the tool how it would look like, and then going with each one separately, it was a 2-hour session first, and then another 2 hours, so it was 4 hours per person for the 8 people. So you could imagine it was a lot time. They each one, and I noticed something special in the way you did it, whereas I was translating, but with your wording, is that each one felt as they were understood, and that's what we do with this tool, is that, or the way you go in to the people's heart, and they understand what's going on with them, where they stand, how they have to communicate with others. And we start noticing after the second day that they already started to create a different environment. I wouldn't say the culture change, but inside that group did the culture change, because they start communicating with each other in a different way, not so much commanding and giving instructions in case of the boss to the group, but asking and really seeing the best of each other. And that created a different, at the end, environment, and things were being able to speak out That's why they were able to speak out different things that were not able before, because the trust was there. They knew how the other one reacted with how, how would what somebody said would affect the other one. So at the end, each one took care of the other one, and the relation of the group was better. And I think the same thing happened with the other team. So at the end, they were not only the best group, but best people.
So the best parts of them could come forward.
Exactly, exactly.
And as you were going through the experience, and Sergio, you did a magnificent job translating, what is it that you learned for your choice to take with you? Because my hope was it would be as great a gift for you as it would be for them. What is it that you learned about you?
I learned that, well, as being a magician, once I try to be like I tried before to shine up and to not shine up, to shine and to sort of be the star of the company. And through this, I learned or reinforced that the gift is to give that magic wand, I would say, that I had as a magician, to pass it along the team. And by passing it along, not only I became as a manager a better manager, but the people will become better, and they have the magic to bring everything up and all the group to a higher level. So I think the biggest experience and learning piece is that it's not only about us, it's about the process that people, sometimes we have these beliefs, assumptions that people are not good, or we don't like them because, I don't know, their haircut or whatever. That's not the issue. The issue is that if we find a way and we try to understand and we listen, not just hear, right? We interpret what they mean, what's a real problem, and we take our time to listen to what they're saying, we can definitely, as managers, help them out and assist them to become better managers and better people. And with that, we're helping the system, we're helping the company, we're helping the community, we're helping the world to be a better world.
That's very powerful. And I'm so glad that we have had such an opportunity to share our gifts, and you have been equally sharing your gifts, as we talked much about helping me tighten up my model and helping me look at business in another way, and just expanding my own thinking. And I appreciate the gift that you've given me to share with you too.
Thank you. It's really been a pleasure. And for me, it's a tremendous learning experience. And even coming here, that you have invited me now the other way to share with your clients. And I see that all of them are tremendously happy, and they're willing, and they're so happy, and they want to keep learning. So I can see the spirit in the people you touch. So thank you for sharing that with me too.
You're welcome. We have had many neat cultural experiences, and one of the things that's important for Sergio and myself personally, as well as his team members and our team members, and I'm sure many of our audience, is that many of us have children or nieces and nephews or family members. And there's a real commitment to making sure that how we choose to push the businesses forward, especially after all we've been through over the last number of years, has a sense of centeredness, self-responsibility, team responsibility, and focus. And Sergio, you have 3 children. I have Sarah. Our other friends have 3 children and 2 children and 1 child. And we've talked about bringing our children together to learn some of these tools that we know of that made our lives better. And they're getting these same kind of tools, which we use behavioral profiles and motivator assessments and high functioning assessments, all these kind of things, to share these with our kids now when they're younger, so that they will have an insightful advantage far greater than what you and I started with.
Absolutely. And if there's something I can mention about that is that how important it is, and as you mentioned, Sarah was in China,
Yes.
being, what was she? She went as a
She went as an ambassador of peace
ambassador of peace.
at the age of 17. Yeah.
And the experience is tremendously powerful. My son, also the oldest one, 22, he went to Canada for 6 months as an exchange student, which I came also to the States when I was 15 years old. And that exchange is so wonderful that if there's something I could tell people, is really have your children have that experience and get out of the backyard of the house and really learn. And even it could be suffering, you could miss them, and I missed my son and you missed Sarah.
Yes.
But it's so wonderful the way we're doing it, what you had to go, the experience you had in Chile with the empanadas and the cheese and the avocado, the way we eat it with the hot dog. You just please tell how you eat the hot dog compared to here.
Okay. In Chile, when you go in for a hot dog, they put lots, and I mean abundance, of mayonnaise and guacamole.
Lots of guacamole.
Lots of guacamole, and you have to try to eat it like this. However, a lot of it will go all over, and that's part of the expectation, and it is just amazing.
Yeah. So it's great to really have our children, us, traveling from one place to the other, and that's what you were saying. We're going to try to have our children exchange and come.
Even
Sarah go
so.
to Chile, our children come here, and have them really get the flavor, because it's now not only it's easy to fly, but with internet, with the social network that we're having, we are becoming really one world. So we have to be aware of these differences and have to be aware of what's happening around us.
And it really gives us more of a chance to experience ourselves and expand ourselves individually and bring more gifts to the community yet again.
And have a wider view of what's going on. And it's, even for business is better afterwards, because you have a different perspective from further away. And we don't really get into that specific focus problem that will really hurt us. But we can take a breath and say, oh, it's different. Or I've seen it solved in a different way in a different country.
Which was interesting, because part of the work you and I did is we met with some other groups. And I remember specifically 3 groups asking us, okay, this is a situation we're in. What would you suggest? And it was very lovely to be able to share with them. Here's 3 ideas. And they really wanted to know from me. And they wanted to know, and I can share what I know, and you know how to push it forward in Chile, which was very cool to really experience. Yeah. Some of the other pieces I'd like to talk about is, yes, we have introduced our children. They have met through Skype and ooVoo. And the goal is to have your children come here and my daughter to go down to South America. She'll actually do it as part of her college experience, and vice versa if the children need part of that piece. She'll have an opportunity to live within the culture, within with your team members, and she can work with you as you so choose. She can intern with you. And your children can intern up here and understand what that's like, and really open those doors to live in the way of life. So that's very, very important for me to have for Sarah.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I showed you and you had no idea, no awareness of really, is I shared with you a piece of art that she had done at college.
Oh, that's
and we're going to show it because I believe if we as parents and as future employers for these young people can listen to the message that our people are sharing, we can help the individual employee, the individual persons move their dreams forward. So if we can take just a moment and look at that picture. This speaks a million words. And I think there's a big message. When I saw that, she sent it to me, of course, on a text, Mom, finish my art project. When I saw it and I shared it with you that morning, because you happened to be here, I was like, wow. And her dream is to work in the United Nations. And she will hopefully get her dream. And if we, as responsible business people and responsible parents, can help her be able to do that, and your children do things in a way that's very accountable, we have a chance to really make a big difference in our world.
And how can people from the U.S. Can get that? So is there still, when I was young, I had Youth for Understanding or different, how can somebody apply that has not, for example, the luck we had to meet each other and have the experience, how can people have that experience? How can they go forward with that? Are there institutions that could help people.
I'm certain that there are a lot of groups and committees. I'm going to encourage people to be selective in who they choose to select as their associations in terms of the values that people put forward in their organizations. Are they meeting those values? Are they really living the values that they put forward in that organization? The vision that the organization or the group has, whether it's from a religious perspective or it's from a business or a volunteer organization. See if people's behaviors are matching their words and become more comfortable sharing information when it doesn't match in a way that others can hear you. We kept talking about the gift of the employees learning about hearing one another and understanding each other's a little bit more about their story. We're not asking, people to kind of get caught up in their worlds. We're asking people to be reverent, to be thoughtful, to be mindful. And that is part of that collaborative relationship that you and I are so invested in, and the relationship that our Odyssey members are also looking at doing with us, and our peers in each of our communities. Look at the wonderful gifts I received from the people of Bank of Chile. The love note.
Yeah, beautiful.
Do you remember from Soleil?
Absolutely.
The little love note. I received this
And the
love
mug?
note. The China
coffee?
mug from
Yeah.
Bank of Chile, so I could have coffee here. One of this heart that was in an office, and they were just so willing to share themselves, and just felt such a connection. We will get an opportunity to meet with them. I will go via Skype. Into their office in a couple of weeks, and Sergio will be on site, and we'll follow up with the team to see how they're working. So it's not just a matter of giving people information, it's giving people information, helping them make it knowledge so they understand it. Moving it to that third step of implementation so that they can do what you and I are going to help them do in the future, make it integrated into who they are.
Absolutely.
And those are major steps
Keep
that
it
get
sustainable
lost.
in the
Keeps
long
it
term.
sustainable. Absolutely. And do it in a way that doesn't feel like you're coming in and unraveling their whole world. We don't need to do that. You can do it differently.
And sometimes it might be for companies that's overwhelming, that when they find out they have so many problems, so for them it's such a big thing. But once you really start looking and having first through a model, through a way, and understanding the big picture, then you can slowly, as I don't know, the Spanish say, you cut the salami piece by piece. You don't have to eat the whole thing.
Yes.
It's the same way as you were
Yes.
saying. We just go step by step.
Yes.
And only that way you can really achieve the big solution at the end. So that's one call, not to really get overwhelmed on even other country and going and what I'm going to do. I don't speak Spanish. I don't have the language. Once you get there, one thing at a time, things go along, and just be happy and open for differences. I would say be open for differences. It's a major statement to really bring in new knowledge and new culture and listen to others.
One of the opportunities, I'm going to go back to some of the cool things that happened while I was down there, and we'll move some of that segment to not only understanding the business differences, but understanding the differences just as you walk into another culture. And the beautiful culture of, yes, the cheese-filled empanadas, and that stand that we went to was, I cannot even begin to explain. It was the most greatest cheesy sandwich I ever had in my entire life. In fact, you were willing to make that for me when you came, so I appreciate that. And
it's just going up north of Chile. It's so narrow that
Yeah.
we went to this on the weekend, and
Yep.
there was a stand right on the highway. And it's funny that it's a small stand, but everybody stops there. And they have this special cheese, Huentalauquen. That's
it's
the place.
wonderful. And just really the pieces of you taking time to show me the spots that were special to you and the pieces that you heard from me that were important to my life. And making sure I had a chance just to see a couple of those spaces so I could experience the fullness of it, which is exactly what translates into the business. To be with those we serve, to experience the fullness of it, to help remove roadblocks, to move them forward.
Absolutely.
And we were going through exactly the gift we were trying to share with the companies we walked before.
Yep, that's what we did it.
What was some of the favorite things you were doing with the lake? You didn't believe we had a lake?
Well, here, she kept talking about the lake. I knew since I came from Toronto, that was a lake, but I couldn't believe that you were just 10 minutes away from the lake. That's fantastic. I mean, I have an hour and a half to the Pacific Ocean, but having it really you guys don't know what you got. It's fantastic. Living in this place 10 minutes away from a lake, and I can imagine in summer, must be wonderful. So
It's really beautiful.
and all things, for example, you would think that's how could they not have it? We don't have those huge stores like Sam's, Costco, or BJ's. They don't exist in Chile. These large quantities of things, the cereal, huge cereals.
There's some bad sides to that as well as some positives, but yeah.
But there are things that we don't have here. The quietness, for example, in Chile, we have, as you remember, all the houses
Yes.
everywhere,
Yes.
even in small communities,
Right.
unless you're a closed community. But a normal community all have fences. Our house have fences.
That's one of the things that struck me very powerfully in
And
Chile.
And here you live in a place where anybody can go in, and you even leave your house open, which I think is fantastic. I know in the city, in a big city, you would do, but at least where you leave doors open. In Chile, it doesn't exist. Not because everybody will steal anything. It's just now we're just not used to that. It's different. So you and products here, everything. You go to milk, huge mills. You have cheeses, tons of cheese. The quantities are really. It's a big difference here. There's so many good things and yummy stuff. That's a problem. My stomach
Yes.
is
Yes.
suffering that, but it's really wonderful. There's always differences, but at the end, the people also are basically the same.
There's a lot of
big thing.
challenges, there's a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot of pain at times, and there's a lot of joy. And it's certainly a joy having you with us. I know that for sure.
Thank you very much. I try to bring joy and try to be
And you
positive
do.
and happy. That's my way of seeing the world, and I think if for everybody, it's nice too.
I will say that my house will be a little quieter. It will be a little quieter, although Sarah's returning soon, so it'll be a little bit back to where it was. We've had a wonderful experience hosting you and
Thank
having
you
you
very
come
much.
stay. And I can't thank you enough for coming into my life and being a part of it in a way that's so kind and so so reverent to me and the folks that I serve, and the gifts that you brought to the Rochester community, and the lives that you've already touched in many meaningful ways and will touch without you ever even knowing. That's
Thank you
truly
very
the
much.
gift.
It will make me happy, very happy. to
So
know
on that note, what I'd like to do is thank our viewing audience for spending time with us again, and hope that both of these segments were helpful to you and powerful for you as they were for us. We would like to invite you to contact Sergio and or myself with any other ideas you might have for the show or conversations you'd like to continue with. You can again connect with us through the website, www.inspirit7.com. The phone number is up on the viewing screen for you, and if you have direct questions for Sergio, I will direct you to him and get you connected with him as well. And I look forward to Sarah going to Chile. And what I think would be great is if Sarah and your children
And Joshua come here.
just will come and they do a show and they talk about
That would be fantastic.
their experience
Great.
of being great serving leaders as well.
Thank you very much, Gwen.
Thank you. Have a great day.
This program was produced through Penfield Television in Penfield, New York.